Hi there. Greetings to everyone, especially to the mothers. Actually, the mothers. Happy Mother's Day. Happy blessed Mother's Day to you. I wanted to talk to the ladies from Lighthouse and any other friends that, tune in and whatever as Dad calls it now, since we're on the internet. I wanted to say that this Mother's Day is kind of different. And of course, you already know that. It isn't the same as usual, but it's still blessed. It's still blessed Mother's Day. We're blessed because we're loved by God our Father. We didn't get to have the normal things we have at church. We didn't get to have the recognition of the mothers. We didn't have to get to hear the testimonies about our mothers. We didn't get to hear the young people read the poems that they do every Mother's Day. And it really kind of made me sad because I didn't get to do my tradition of making the flower arrangements that I give out every Mother's Day to the Lighthouse mothers and other people, my friends, neighbors, whatever. And I always tell everybody I make the arrangements, but Pastor pays for all the supplies. So he got to save some money this year, but not really. I'm going to buy you all something else later, and he's going to give me the money. But one of the things that I was sitting there as I was thinking, and last week I was sharing to the kids about Matthew thinking. Every time I say I'm thinking, I think of my one grandson. But I was thinking about when we were in church, when we were in the sanctuary, how Pastor would always say to us, okay, what do we think about? We always say that there's 10 things that are the best things that happened to you already today. Number 10, he woke us up this morning, meaning the Lord. Number 9, he woke us up this morning. Number 8, and then, it goes all the way down to number 1, and we all say together, he woke us up this morning. So that's a happy Mother's Day, and definitely a blessed one, because we're here. He woke us up. I know a lot of mothers are going through some trials. Some of you got unemployment. I was talking to one sister at the church. They cut her hours from 40 to 29. You still have 100% of your bills, but 29 hours is not full time. But she told me that while she was dropping off a Mother's Day card to me. And it kind of really choked me up because, even though she didn't have as much, Sister Helen always remembers me every year. And other mothers I've talked to, especially like myself, that are grandmothers, or they call me a nana. My wonderful son brought a card from him and his wife, and my grandsons, Joel and Matthew, with the Nan on. Every time I see Nan on a card, it just geeks me up. I really love that because I use Nan instead of Grandma. But it's not the same. I don't get to hug them. I don't get to have them bring the kids by. Sometimes I even run over to Indiana around this time of year and see Sydney and Asa. I don't get to do that this year. But I'm here. God bless me. I'm having a happy Mother's Day. And that's what I just want to share with all of you, that we're in this together. And we've got a God that loves us immeasurably, and our customs, or as Pastor says, those Hallmark holidays. He kind of fusses about it, but he still buys me the cards. But it's really not about that. It's that God loves us, and we're going to make it through this. And hopefully next Mother's Day we'll be back being taken out to eat. We all like that part. From one end of the country to the other, what we do on Mother's Day, we get taken out to eat. Some states are open, but Ohio isn't one of them. But I'm still very grateful to God that I have Governor DeWine as my governor. He's a wise, wise man. One of the other things I wanted to talk about today was... and mentioning people bringing things. Brother Robert, Sister Retta's been nursing him back to health and after his stroke and everything. And by the way, he's doing really great in case you haven't been keeping up with the family. She came over and brought a rose and some balloons. And I was all choked up. We smiled through our mask, and then I read the card, and it said, to Mom, from Brother Robert and his family. And I realized, as the pastor's wife, church mom, a lot of your lives I'm interconnected with. I've been through your happy times, sad times. My husband's married a lot of you, and I've always been there, and we've been there for children's births and things, and when you've lost people in your lives. And I mean, we've been through a lot, us mothers, and we're just all in it together. One of the other things is I was thinking about mothers that I haven't seen for a while. Sister Payne, who's been a mother to many, she's been in children's ministry for more years than I can even remember, and women's ministries, all the teas and everything she's had every year. We don't have that this year, but that's okay. We'll have a spring tea at Mother Payne's, at Sister Payne's again. I was thinking of also those that are still doing things for others, even as they're seeing about their family. Sister Blonde goes over to the church along with her husband, Brother Kim, every week, every Thursday like clockwork, to take care of the clerical needs. She's still the church secretary, and her husband take care of the financial needs, so the church can keep doing what it's doing, yet she's still a mother to Rebecca and Michael. Sister Hubbard, I got a card in the mail from her. And when I think of Sister Hubbard, I think of her teaching Sunday school. I think of her and Sister Helen working in the kitchen. Sister Tootie, working in the kitchen when we have homegoings for people. All those sort of things. And Sister Letitia, I was thinking about Sister Letitia. She's the one, when church was in regularly, I go to the church parking lot. She many times on Sunday morning would beat the adult Sunday school teachers there, sitting in that parking lot faithfully to have Sunday school. And this Sunday, she won't be there on Mother's Day. But I'm sure her kids are going to call her. And, this is our new Mother's Day. Sister Helen and her niece, Lashana, when I see them sitting on a pew, I see two generations. When I see Sister Tootie and her mother, Miss Billy, and her daughter, Letice, with little William, I see three generations of mothers sitting on that pew. And so I'm in my mind, I'm here in our dining room, but in my mind, I'm just imagining that it's Mother's Day, and we're at the church, and I'm passing out the flowers, and I'm looking at the generations sitting on the pews. Because, we still are the church. It's not that building. We still are united. We're apart, but we're together. We're together in spirit, and we're together in love. And I'm thinking even of mothers that aren't even with us anymore. Mother Mundy. Oh, how I'd love to hear Mother Mundy sing. And most times she'd be there on Mother's Day, even after she was in the nursing home. Sometime they would bring her over for Mother's Day. I'm thinking of Pastor Bertha, who's with the Lord, Pastor Bertha Jones, sitting at the organ playing on Mother's Day. Sister Pat Curtis, with her green eyeshadow and her green matching stockings and all those wonderful things. And, she'd say, Mother Harvey, you do such a good job with the children. And even people that didn't belong to our church, Mother Clovis Sneed, who was a retired school teacher, used to come all the way from out at the base down to do tutoring at our church in the evenings. Just so many people that have gone on and become part of that great cloud of witnesses. Those mothers that left a part of themselves with us, that mentored us, that taught us things, that showed us things. Now, my mother, Velma Ruth, was a character. And, that's probably where I get some of my ways from. She was a wonderful mother. She loved her grandson, Scotty, and as a matter of fact, we used to tussle over him. And my mother-in-law, Janie May, I never say mother-in-law, I say mother-in-law, a pastor's mom. She loved a garden. Her and my mother loved to plant flowers. And this was the time of year, every Mother's Day, that I went and I bought tons of flowers when I lived in Michigan for Mother Janie. And my kids can remember that too. Our whole van would be stacked with tons and tons of flowers. And so she's gone, but whenever I look at my flowers, I think of Mother Janie and I think of my mama, Velma Ruth. But God hasn't forsaken me by letting my mothers, both of them, be gone. My mother-in-law and my mother. I think of Dr. Moore, a little 4-foot-something friend of mine, but she's a giant in the Lord. And she still, mothers me. She gives me advice on how to deal with my daughter and different things, and just things of the Lord. And so I'm grateful. She's 80-something years old. And I just found out that she had COVID. But guess what? She was almost totally asymptomatic. She has leukemia and 5 heart stents. And she just sailed right through it because she was sailing on the wings of the Lord. And saving the very best for last. I am so grateful to God for allowing me to be a mother. My firstborn, Brian, I had a decision to make. Stay in the Navy or be a mom. I told the Navy goodbye and said hello to motherhood. It wasn't always easy for my kids. I was bumpy along the road. But I know they love me and I love them. He's talented and funny. He's a videographer. And sometimes we get in discussions about things like politics, which I try not to. And then there's Regina. She's really funny. And they're both singers, the two of them. They're talented. And Gina can cook. Oh my gosh, we call her Chef Reggie. So she cooks for her dad and I while she lives here with us. And she also is the one that runs me to the ER when I have to go, whether it's asthma or whatever. She throws me in the car and takes me to where I need to go to get patched up and brings me back home again. Jessica, another very talented, funny person, is over in Indiana with Sydney and Asa. I've already mentioned that Brian is nearby with Joel and Matthew. But I thank God for grandchildren, that I got to be a nana. Joel was the firstborn, and then Jessica had Azariah, and then no, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. And then Sydney, they're the two middle ones, and then Brian had the other bookend. He had Matthew. So I got not only to be a mother, I got to be a nana. And so that's the very best. It doesn't get any better than that. And so I just want to say in closing that please, ladies from Lighthouse, please give me a call. I want to talk about something I want to do different this year for you for Mother's Day. You won't get it today, obviously, but please give me a call because there's something special I want to do, and I want to talk to you about how we're going to do it. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed Mother's Day. And, before I forget, I almost forgot something. My spiritual daughters that are mothers that aren't here in the area, and that just in case you turn on this YouTube or whatever, I want to shout out to Sister Kathy Mundy. Well, Pastor Kathy Mundy. She's assistant pastor at a church, I believe. And Trish Berry and Pastor John Berry and Pastor Paul Lathan, who isn't a mother, but he's one of my spiritual children, and his lovely wife. And Sister... oh goodness, I'm ready to get somebody's name. I was just thinking of Tiana, Sister Tiana, who goes to church out in the suburbs now. One of my beautiful, beautiful mothers that have been in my life. Sister Stephanie Carter. There's just so many of you. I don't want to forget anyone, but all of you, I love you so, so, so much. Have a blessed day. Talk to you later.